What's up, peers, and welcome to Bitcoin to the Max here on the World Crypto Network. We've talked about the monetary unit and the total money supply, and that this money supply can increase or inflate, or that it can decrease, deflate. But the question is, when is inflation or deflation good? When is it morally righteous? And I would define such a thing as when does it not steal? When is there no theft? When is no one being harmed? And when are all the actions voluntary? Because I believe that only a voluntary and peaceful interaction is a righteous one. So let's take this apart, right? First, again, the economy of 100 units or 50 units for Alice, 30 for Bob, and 20 for Charlie. In the sense where we double the money supply with the snap of a finger for all participants. That means Alice now has 100, and Bob has 60, and Charlie has 40 units. Well, this means, again, that none of them have lost any purchasing power, and further, none has taken away the purchasing power of anyone else. But if Alice is the only individual which has either the legal right or the possibility of increasing the money supply, of producing additional units, then she can and most likely will produce these units and use them herself for the first time. Thus, she will have, as we explained in the video on inflation, a proportional increase in her purchasing power at the expense of the purchasing power of these others, Bob and Charlie. So she is actively stealing the purchasing power of these other individuals, but only because she is the only one that has access or the legal right to print this money. Thus, I would define such a system where the entrance for new entrepreneurs being producers of money, where this entrance is limited or restricted, that this is not a morally righteous money production. But on the other hand, if Alice and Bob and Charlie, all of them, have same access and the same rights to print as much money as they would like, well, then I don't see any theft here, right? If they would all increase the money supply for all of them equally, then there is no purchasing power being shifted from one party to another. Let's apply this specifically to, for example, the US dollar. Well, who can increase the money supply of the US dollar? Is it you? Well, no, most likely not. It will be on the base monetary level, central banks who can issue additional currency out of nothing. They literally print it. Well, now it's digital, so they press a button. But you do not have neither the legal right, human and man-made law, nor do you have the possibility to enter this market as a money producer. Thus, when money is being produced, it's at your expense. Inflation, in that sense, is theft. But on the other hand, how is it with something like gold? Well, can you start digging in your own backyard and hope that you will find some gold and refine it and extract it? Yes, you can. Nobody's hindering doing you that on your own property. You can look for the gold. You can try to produce it. And because anyone has unrestricted access to enter this market, I would say that gold has an ethical money production. And how is it with Bitcoin? I would argue even more so. Because all you need in order to produce Bitcoin is a pen and a paper. As long as you can do basic economic or basic mathematical calculations of specifically SHA-256 hashing, Well, then you can work on a candidate block that adheres to consensus. And if you produce valid proof of work, which anyone can do literally with a piece of paper, then you have the right to issue for your own address 50 additional newly created, newly inflated Bitcoin. And nobody is stopping you from doing that. Of course, you're not going to do it with pen and paper, but you're going to do it with computer power. However, again, as long as it's your hardware that you control, nobody is stopping you from running the Bitcoin core client and mining Bitcoins with hopefully the Brains OS firmware. So Bitcoin in that sense, because anyone can become a money producer, is also a ethically righteous money production. Just like gold, just like silver, but especially not like fiat currencies. Piers, thank you very much for joining me here to Bitcoin to the Max on the World Crypto Network, a show sponsored by you. You could actually become a money producer and set our donation address on Tallycoin/Hillebrand Max as your Coinbase reward. So in that sense, you could produce money for me. Hopefully you are, because 12.5 Bitcoin would be quite nice. But Piers, you don't have to. But if you do, you get early access to all these videos. Thank you very much, and see you on the next show. Bye-bye.